Hey everybody, happy Monday. Hope you're doing well and welcome to your weekly forecast reading with Spirit for the week of July 30th to August 5th. Today I'm going to be channeling some messages to you directly from the spirit realm, directly from your spirit guides, in hopes of giving you some messages of love, light, healing, connection, compassion, all those beautiful things, and for something for you to focus on this week with regards to your own spirituality, your own intuition, or your connection to your own guides. So if you feel drawn to listen to the entirety of this message, it's definitely for you. If you feel drawn to skip through parts of the message or pass it by completely, then this message may not be for you. The idea and my intention is always that this message will reach exactly who it needs to when they are fully able and ready to receive it. And just before we dive in, I want to let you know that I do offer personalized and private one-on-one readings for you. You can either book a private online Zoom reading with me through the link in my bio, or you can check out my Etsy store where I offer readings in a written form. So if you're interested in either one of those for yourself, please do reach out, let me know, send me a DM, or click on the link in the bio to find out more. All right, so let's see what Spirit would like to share with us for this upcoming week. All right, so we have an animal guide coming in right away. That's the Cheetah spirit. Okay, so Cheetah. I'm also seeing Rhino as well. Okay, so Rhino spirit as well. So the third message that I'm getting here from Spirit right off the bat is that right now, for this week ahead, they're guiding us to not be so hard on ourselves, okay? So what they're explaining to me here is that a lot of this, like the 3D mentality and paradigm was a lot about, I want to almost call it like a self-abuse in a way, in a verbal, mental, maybe even psychological form. Okay, so being very, very harsh and hard on ourselves throughout our lives, whatever that we are doing on a daily basis, the way that we judge ourselves, the way that we think about ourselves, the way that we see ourselves, our perspectives. And what they're saying is that this week, can we be more aware of where we are very hard on ourselves typically? And can we catch ourselves in those moments of being harsh or being judgmental or being critical? And can we change the narrative that we have around it? Can we actively practice more grace and compassion for ourselves? Can we have more empathy for ourselves and what we're going through? Okay. So you could do this in a number of ways. If you don't feel like you're a natural at talking yourself through things, you can also try to journal as well. Okay, so you can lead yourself by saying what you were harsh with yourself with, and just some very positive and compassionate and graceful type words that you can give back to yourself. I'm also hearing that you can write yourself a letter as well. Perhaps you may even choose to write a letter to your inner child about where you may have learned to be harsh on yourself, okay? Depending on what your parents taught you or what you observed from your parents, where might have you been programmed and conditioned to be harsh and hard on yourself, okay? So this week is all about becoming aware of where you are still being extra critical, extra harsh, extra judgmental on yourself, realizing that when you are actively using words and phrases and judgments against yourself, that you're actually manipulating and creating a kind of a negative output into your reality by holding that energy in your internal world. So the idea is that by catching your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions around judging and criticizing yourselves, and transmuting that back into light, into a positive energy, that you can begin to manage your internal world, which therefore reflects your external world a lot better, that you have the energetic sovereignty and control to monitor and take care of that and maintain it in a positive and healthy way. Okay. So this doesn't mean, again, this is not about spiritual bypassing. This is not about ignoring issues that are truly there that need to be healed. It's about managing everything very carefully for yourself so that you're allowed to process, you're allowed to heal, you're allowed to acknowledge things. Whereas before, in the past, you may have pushed it all down, suppressed it, ignored it, beat yourself up about it. So anything that's happening like that this week, we're really guiding you to practice to switch things around, okay? And maybe stop yourself in your tracks and say, you know what? I'm being really harsh on myself right now. There's other solutions. There's another way of doing this. And just guide yourself to better thought patterns, okay? That's ultimately what this message is. So watch out for those harsh, negative feedback loops that you're giving yourself. Make sure that you're actively transmuting it back to a lighter and more positive place, okay? All right. The next message that I'm hearing from the spirit realm is also super interesting. They're sharing that this week and the coming weeks, we may feel that we have this kind of like internal compass or guidance system that seems to be swaying back and forth, back and forth. It kind of is looking to me in my vision like a pendulum almost going back and forth. And it feels like what they're saying here is that you may be pulled one way, and then you may be pulled the other way, and then you may be pulled back. It's almost like we may be facing some indecision this week, trouble making a clear choice. We may just feel a little bit fuzzy or may have a little brain fog, but we may have a little bit of struggle in finding a clear direction. And what Spirit is sharing with this is that they're really guiding you to continue to call your energies back home to your center, okay? And to take energetic control back, your energetic sovereignty back, personal power back, and to really be clear with your heart, with your gut, what your truth is. Okay, so in times where you are having these feelings of doubt, uncertainty, you're not getting a lot of clarity on something, you're feeling pulled or pushed in a certain way, the idea is that you are going to spend some quiet time wherever you can find it, call your energies back home, and continue to visit and tune into the feelings, thoughts, emotions that you have that make you feel centered and balanced and grounded, okay? So if that means that you need to do some grounding work for yourself to really feel what your truth is, to really feel that inner clarity, then make sure that you're cutting out some time in your schedule for that, okay? So the guidance here is when you're feeling confused, when you're not sure what direction to go in, when you're feeling a little bit all over the place, this is the guidance to continue to call yourself, your energies back home and get in tune with that solar plexus gut feeling, that heart chakra, heart center feeling, and see what's there for you. Continue to call out what is true for you. Okay. So I really hope that makes sense. I'm also getting the giraffe as well. Is there anything else? And finally, the last message that I'm getting here for you is that Spirit is really saying this week, really, really, really be aware of not letting other people take advantage of your kindness, okay? So what I'm getting here is that this is a week to really be in tune with yourself, okay? When you're being convinced or pushed or pulled or someone maybe influencing you, or you're sensing like a different motivation or intention coming from someone that doesn't feel right, doesn't feel aligned, doesn't feel good to you, really make sure that you're using your boundaries, really make sure that you're standing up for yourself, really make sure that you are in tune with what you want, you need, you desire. And if anything is going against that intuitive line of feeling like it's not quite right, really make sure that you're listening to it, okay? Even if it means that it feels like you're being unkind by saying no, or setting up a boundary, or not participating in something, or whatever it is, okay? Whatever it is that's relevant to your life, just make sure that you're just aware that you're not letting anyone take advantage of your kindness. Not letting anyone push you too far, not letting anybody, that saying, like, give an inch, if you give an inch, some people will take a mile with it. So really be aware of this and making sure that you're protecting your energy this week, okay? And this also goes back to the previous message about not just being very aware of your internal dialogue, not being harsh on yourself, not beating yourself up, especially if you're saying no to someone that you could be potentially disappointing. Okay, so just being very aware and protective of your energy field this week and your internal world as well. Okay, I really hope that makes sense. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. I really hope that that makes sense. And thank you to Spirit for those beautiful messages. I hope you were able to follow along and understand what Spirit was sharing with you this week. If you have resonated with these messages, if you connect with them, if you can relate to them, please do leave a comment below, or even send me a DM or an email. I'd love to hear how those sit and connect with you. If you want to receive these messages typed up and sent directly to your email inbox, make sure you head over to my website, www.theconsciousher.com. And on the homepage, you can enter in your name and email. That will sign you up automatically for the weekly readings that are transcribed. I also include the meanings of the animal guides that come through that are also equally important to the other messages. All right. Thank you so much for joining and for listening. I really appreciate you. Have a great week ahead, and I'll catch you next time.